This is a vintage Omega Seamaster. As you can see, it has definitely seen better days. It was sent in by a viewer with the intention of having it fully restored. So let's get started. We'll start by removing the rotor weight. And then loosening these two screws in order to remove the automatic. Remove the two clamps. One of these screws was actually broken due to rust. With both the clamps out, we can then remove the stem and crown. And then very carefully extract the movement. We can then remove the hands and then loosen the dial feet screws, which will allow us to pry off the dial. This dial will be sent off to be restored. I know that a lot of people do ask if I can show that particular process, but I'm afraid I do not do that. So with the dial side all sorted, we can then flip the movement over, remove the balance, cut the power, and then remove this ratchet and automatic wheel. This movement has an additional plate for the train bridge. And we can then remove the sweeping seconds pinion. Remove the crown wheel. Loosen the three screws holding down the barrel bridge, as well as removing the click. We can then remove the barrel bridge, as well as the train bridge. And very carefully remove the train wheels. Remove the barrel. And then move on to the pallets. We can then refit the balance and remove the balance jewels. Open up the barrel and remove the mainspring. We can then strip down the automatic and then put it through a cleaning machine. Once cleaned, we'll start by assembling the barrel. The original mainspring was rewound and we can press it back into the barrel. We'll then grease up and fit the barrel arbor before greasing and fitting the barrel cap. We'll then remove the balance and start to assemble the keyless. First fitting the stem and crown, and then moving on to the setting lever. Making sure all of the parts are greased as we go along. We can then grease and fit the barrel, as well as the train wheels. Very carefully slide in the train bridge. Alongside the barrel bridge. We can then also fit the sweeping seconds pinion. Before fitting this top plate for the train. Next we'll fit the crown wheel. And then refit the click. Before fitting the ratchet wheel. Make sure all of the jewels are oiled. And then fit the pallets. Oil the pallets and then fit the balance. We can then oil the balance jewels. And very carefully fit them. And after a little adjustment, this is the reading that we are getting. We can then move on to assembling the dial side. Starting with the cannon pinion. Before putting in both the minute and setting wheels. And then the hour wheel. This is the dial that's now come back. I'll leave links to the company that has done this restoration if you want to go and have a look at the work that they do. And these are the hands before I ended up repainting them white. As you can see here, we are now fitting the hands. And then you can polish the case. With the case polished and a new glass fitted, we can then fit the movement inside. And at this point I realised that the rusted screw from the case clamp is actually still within the movement, which we ended up having to knock out with a staking set. And then measure up the size of that set screw in order to tap a new thread in. After all that work's done, we can then fit the clamps back into place. And then go about reassembling the automatic. Again, making sure to oil all of the jewels. And then fitting the automatic into place. One of the final steps is to then fit the rotor weight. And then fit the case back. As it stands right now, this watch is currently testing and it is performing very well. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you again hopefully very soon.